Brianna was larger than life. She was funny, witty and fearless. We miss Brianna so much, and our house feels empty without her laughter. To know how scared my usually fearless child must have been when she was alone in that park with someone that she called her friend will haunt me forever.
On the 11th of February, Brianna was captured leaving the home address to then get on the bus to Colchester. Brianna had messaged her mum, Esther, about being anxious about that journey, and Esther had reassured her. Brianna suffered with anxiety. It took a lot of courage for her to go out and meet people. The sinister aspect is just the bus ticket. There's a message where the female defendant tells Brianna just to get a single ticket to Colchester. When you look at the pre-planning and the element of that, for me, it has quite a significant meaning.
Emergency. House of God. I think I'm also with a request for a police and ambulance.
Hello? Need urgent help at this location. We're probably about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile from the car park. Female, numerous stab wounds, one to the chest, one to the neck. I could do with a medic pack here ASAP, please.
I got there, I've attended numerous murder scenes in my police career, but I have to say probably the most devastating injuries I've seen to any murder victim. We had an idea who the victim might be at that moment in time, and that was based on property that was found at the scene, strewn around. And at that point, as I said, it's a category A murder with no real clue as to who might have been responsible for it. What I was helped with early on in the investigation, we were aware that there were a couple of witnesses walking their dogs that were the people that found Brianna. Their information, their evidence proved to be really useful, because what it told us was there were two individuals leaving the scene of Brianna's murder. Brianna was due to meet a friend of a similar age that day. She told her mum this. We didn't have any of the details other than the first name, but what it enabled us to do was to make inquiries with various education establishments in the area that gave us a number of individuals that could be potentially the person we were looking for. One in particular stood out as an individual that I thought might be a viable suspect. I decided to go out with a press release in order to identify the male suspect, as I had no information to tell me who that individual was. On the back of that press release, we had an overwhelming response, I would say, and it led to members of the community identifying both suspects in company with Brianna. From the male defendant's address, we recovered some clothing that had apparent blood staining on it. We didn't know whose blood, but it was apparent, and quite an amount of it. And we also recovered a knife, a very sharp hunting knife, from his bedroom. And then obviously their devices, the age of the defendants in this case, they live and breathe on their phones. Huge amount of material to go through, masses and masses of data. But a very quick initial examination revealed quite chillingly that they had not only planned this killing, they'd not only planned that it was going to be Brianna that was lured to the scene and killed, but there were also a number of other individuals that they'd planned in a similar way to kill. I like to think I lead a team of hardened investigators, but I've never seen jaws drop in a briefing before now when this information started coming out from the phones.
When we've done the downloads of the female defendant's phone, we've then identified this murder plan, which is titled the date of the 11th of February. The victim is Brianna Ghey, and then it talks about what the plan will be. We then took out a warrant and we returned back to the property, and we then seized the notebook, and then we did recover the original note.
They'd planned everything about how they were going to do it, the code word that was going to be used, what weapons were going to be used, the subterfuge in terms of getting Brianna to the scene, and then also what they were going to say afterwards. So they'd thought of everything to try and distance themselves from this crime. And I have to say, you know, they're children ultimately, but the level of that meticulous planning and trickery to get Brianna to that scene is quite chilling, really.
We may never know which one of the defendants stabbed Brianna. We certainly know that the male had the evidence in terms of the forensic blood staining, and that would suggest he committed that predominantly. But we'll never know if the female defendant contributed to those actions.
All murders are horrendously tragic and unnecessary. I think this one probably is the most devastating in terms of the injuries. You know, 28 stab wounds to you know, a young girl, and no real clear motive behind targeting Brianna or those other children on that list. It's kind of left the whole investigation team quite speechless, really.
From when she was little, I remember the faces she would pull to make me laugh. A cheeky giggle, funny dances are engraved in my memory. It's difficult to comprehend how some people can do these vile things in the world and don't understand how cruel and heartbreaking their actions can be.